Oh my goodness! When this happens like at 10 o'clock on Wednesday morning, like I just can't but believe that we're living the life we're living. I'm on the show with the great Rich Gabberty, Coach Gabberty.
I'm so
Brother,
excited.
how are you?
I am so excited, Tom, to be with you, especially during hockey season. We're all lucky to have our own personal hockey guy.
Right.
And that is
That's
Tom
me.
Laidlaw.
Right. We've got our own personal sleep expert. We got our own personal genealogist. Man, we've got it all here. Like, what other show? Like, does Joe Rogan have a genealogist and a sleep expert?
No, he doesn't. Or Deepak Chopra certified meditation coach. We have. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, seriously. Joe Rogan. Who the heck is Joe Rogan? He doesn't have.
No. I don't want to attack anybody because we don't have to. But he has his thing. We're not going to eat mushrooms. You know, the thing about all these younger fellas. Okay, I did all of that crap in 1980. Okay, mushrooms, check. Okay, psilocybin, whatever you call it, hiawatha, whatever that crap was. Okay, ketamine with Woody Allen, believe it or not, all of that stuff. I did it. It's done, and now it's fashionable.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, come on.
I know.
I mean,
that's true. Danny's our personal ball buster. That's right too.
Yeah. But I mean, you got to think about it, really. And so now that everything's legal, now I'm friends with Pete Giantempo. Okay, if Pete Giantempo ran into me in the 1980s, I would have had to beg him to let me go.
That's right too.
Our own police officer. Yeah, narcotic detective.
Yeah. So we were at JP Doyle's doing the Full Change podcast last night. It's in great spot to go to. It's in Sleepy Hollow, and a lot of cops were there. New York City cops, Westchester cops. Yeah, they're good guys. I was late. They're all mad at me because I was late.
You were late?
Yeah, I left the. I figured I plugged in Waze. It's like it's going to take me an hour and a half to get out of the city. All of a sudden, the traffic hit them between 2.5 hours. But we got it done. It was fun.
So now with this Full Change, right? So did you do an interview with a player live or something?
No, we interviewed people at the show that were actually in the restaurant and everything. So it was good. We talked hockey and interviewed them. It was good. It's kind of interesting when you go to a place like that because now you get the background noise from people at the game. So it's fun. When you score a goal, everybody jumps up. So
so you watched the game. You watched the game with them.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah.
That's really that's a good move.
Yeah, it was fun. Oh, that's right. Ichabod Crane. That's the headless horseman?
I believe so. Yeah, the Sleepy Hollow. Yeah.
Good.
They're
fun guys.
Funny. Yeah. Oh, sure. Now, did you see that? I got to give kudos, piggybacking on Spitting Chicklets. Okay.
Yeah.
So Spitting Chicklets, it's a great show, and I because I'm down here in Florida, and this is the first year I'm really not coaching, and I'm detoxing a little, so it puts me back in the locker room because they chirp each other incessantly, which I love. Okay. Yeah. Long story short, they did the NYPD FDNY game that was played.
They were talking about that last night. Yeah, they were talking about that.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
And they out of all the guys to break chops, who did they pick? Number 19 on the NYPD, which is Kevin Schroeder, who I coached for 4 years at Fordham
University. That's what that was. Oh, okay. And they had him on. He'd get a little large, right?
He got it. Well, you know what? He's bulking up.
Right. There you go.
He's bulking up. He's part of the Mike O'Hearn philosophy where you add 40 pounds, 20 to 40 pounds on before you cut up.
Right.
And so that's that way you bulk up and then you cut up and the muscles are bigger.
So that's what he is really doing that, or is he just put on weight?
Well, it sounds good. What do you want to say, Tom?
I got you. Okay.
I mean, I can't talk about one of my players.
This wonderful creature here sent me some stuff for my birthday, which was Saturday. A book on the 5 things about pooping or something like that. There's a book about pooping. Yeah.
Oh, Tracy Marie.
Yes.
Oh, she's the best.
Some very nice gifts. Thank you, Tracy, very much. It was very sweet of you.
About pooping. That's awesome. Yeah. She said you're I can't even. I know. Keep going. Yeah. There's nothing that could come out good. Look, I'm stammering now. You got me stammering. Thanks, Tracy. Appreciate that.
All right. Let me see here. Big Barry Shelley. Man, Rich, while you were coaching, did you know Rich Vaughn, men's ice hockey coach from Colgate, who announced his retirement from Colgate yesterday after
God bless him. Oh, God. Yeah. He's going to have to detox. It'd be interesting to talk to him about why exactly he's leaving the game.
Right. That's right. So Tracy sent some books about all the topics, a lot of the topics we discussed, the love languages, the pooping.
The love language.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Well, we talk about spirituality. We talk about negativity. We talk about positivity. Come on. We talk about a lot of things. We talk about hockey. We talk about, and how about those Rangers last night, huh? Rangers Devils. Not that I'm a fan of either team. I'm just a fan of hockey, but
Good.
Go ahead, Tom. What do you say?
That was good. Well, you know, when you have a young team like the Devils do, they go one of two ways in the playoffs like that. They can get overwhelmed with the pressure, or they can just say they're just just don't even pay attention to it because you're so young and you're still there having fun. So clearly, last night they even discussed it after the game that that they were overwhelmed, and the Rangers took advantage of it too. But the Rangers, you know, they took some bad penalties, especially early, and as expected, they can make mistakes and giveaways and stuff like that. And Shesterkin is back there to cover up for them. So they played the way you expect them to play. If they play, they've got to get better. They can't just play like that. And then the Devils will get better next game too. So this series isn't over by any means, but yeah.
No, but it was a good start. And yes, the Devils unfortunately appeared overwhelmed in the defensive zone. I mean, how about Kreider with the deflections in front?
I know, yeah.
I mean, come on.
You can predict that now, yeah. And there's not much you can do about it, right? Because he's so big, and you can't really move him out of the front of the net there. It's like you can get in front of him, but then you're screening the goalie more. That's the smart thing about it. If you go to cover him, now you get, instead of one guy in front of the goaltender, you get two. So
it's brilliant, though. Yeah. And I got to tell you, I feel that you don't want to notice a defenseman in the defensively, you know what I'm saying? If you don't notice the guy, then he's had a good game. And I noticed Marino a couple of times.
Yeah, I know.
The Devils. Yeah. I hate to point anybody out.
Here's a very good question here from Danny Erickson. Hey, Rich, would you put the power play? Steven Tyler, Joe Perry? Who'd you put?
Neither one. I would put the security team. I would rather put the security team. One is 5'5", the other guy's 5'6", and the skates aren't going to make him any taller. So God bless both of those guys.
Let me see who we got here. Let's see who we got. Barry Shelley's on fire with the writing today. Very good friend of mine who I helped back in the 80s when he started coaching. He retired after 40 years coaching. Wow. 40 years coaching. That's a long time coaching.
And he's the American Hockey League winningest coach. Is that it?
Winningest coach. Yes. Yeah. Wow. I missed that.
Nice. Good stuff. Yeah. What's his name, Barry, when you get a chance?
Yeah. Okay.
Another guy I want to put in my group of retired coaches.
What was some of the? So we have our topic list for today. What is our topic list for today?
Oh, our topic list for today, Tom, and there's a lot. We were supposed to talk about the Rangers. Okay,
so Roy Sumner. So Roy Sumner. Oh, wow. He was.
Oh, Roy Sumner. I actually know that. I know his name. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So go ahead.
Back to our topic list. That's okay. Our topic list is hello. We said hello. The Rangers. Yep. I don't know if you're finished with the Rangers. I thought it was a domination, young team. You can't dance around out there.
Totally. Hold on, one real quick. Did you see the goal that Lindgren scored? My boy Lindgren. Did you see the goal he scored?
Yes, that was a snipe.
Oh, nice.
That was a snipe over the shoulder, right?
That was almost. I don't like him now because that was almost too talented to play. Like I like him because he's not very talented.
Yeah. Well, but listen, they're allowed to move around now. This isn't Herb Brooks era. This isn't where you got to go glass and out, Laidlaw, get rid of the puck, right?
I know.
And you like a robot. You like a robot just did it automatically. And guess how many goals you got that year?
Maybe one.
I don't think you got any.
I got 20. I had 25 my whole career. I had 6 my first year, and then Herb came in. Like, okay, that's the end of that.
Yeah. No conversation back then. You could, hey, coach.
Oh no, there's conversation.
There was conversation.
Yeah, this is what you're doing, Laidlaw. That's it. You do that. You'll get played.
Conversation.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was talking last night how he just come down the end of the bench. You know, it's like last minute of the game or something. We're up by a goal. He needs the defensive guys out there. He'd come down and kick me right in the rear end. He goes, "Get the F out there."
Wow, yeah, that's different.
And he would actually kick me too, and I loved that. It's like, all right, bring it.
Yeah, but nowadays that's a little different. You do have if you're coaching, let's say there's 30 guys on the team or whatever it is, you maybe have about you look for those guys, but maybe you have 5 of them.
Yeah, totally. All right, here's a great question here. Great, fantastic question. Pizza with pepperoni or no pepperoni?
Wow.
You got to go with, if you're going to have pizza, you might as well go with the pepperoni.
Really, with the pepperoni? But depends on what kind of pepperoni it is.
I didn't know there's different kinds.
Well, I mean, sure. There's different kinds. Some are better than the others. Yeah, it depends on where you are.
Oh.
I mean, I like basil. Listen, I like basil.
Basil pepperoni?
No. I like basil on the pizza. Basil on the pizza, nice.
Right.
Nice.
But I feel like pizza's not good for all the cheese and all that. So if you're going to go no good for you, they might as well throw the pepperoni on it. I guess you could go with chicken and tomato and onion, that kind of stuff, right? You can go.
No, I have chicken on the side. I like wings. If you're gonna go nuts, you have wings. Wings
chicken
on the
wings
side.
on pizza? Chicken wings on pizza?
No. Slow down. I know you're excited to be with me. Okay, slow down. Chicken on the side. Chicken wings. I'd like an order of chicken wings. Let's order together. I'd like an order of chicken wings.
Okay.
We'd like a large pie.
Okay, we back up. Basil. We need to be a little bit more descriptive though. So the chicken wings, spicy, hot sauce.
Well, they got to have something to them. That I don't want them. I don't want them sticky. I want them spicy. Yes, I like.
Oh, okay. You don't like the sticky ones. You don't like the ones that gets all over your face and your fingers. And
I don't mind that. I don't mind getting sloppy. I could care less about that. That's as long as we have napkins or something or a wet dry. Screw the napkins. Just give me like wet dries or a nice towel. Down in Texas, they serve all that stuff with. They give you wet washcloths.
All right. So if you're going to a place where you can get pizza and chicken wings, you're not going the pizza route. You're going chicken wings.
I'm going to get both.
Oh, okay.
Both. We'll share. I mean, you could have a.
I'm not sharing my food with you. What?
I don't mean it that way. We could separate it. Listen, right. Why? Because you don't wash your hands? Because you're always talking about pooping?
Well, yeah.
Right. You're right. I'd be afraid too. Yeah. I got it.
Okay. Let's see what we got.
Everything's your own.
That's right. Pizza with arugula, bruschetta. How do you say it? Prosciutto?
Say it how do you say it?
Prosciutto?
Arugula, prosciutto.
Prosciutto. There's no E in there, though.
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Shaved parma.
That's the way you say it. You say it with feeling. Boulogne. Say it with feeling.
Okay, what state has the worst pizza? What state has the worst pizza?
I'll tell you what state. Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton's like a town. No, isn't it? Dayton a city?
Ohio would be the state.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Dayton is the city. They have some place called.
There's a place called Dayton too. Is there like another place called Dayton?
Yeah, Dayton. I'm Dayton. We're Dayton in Ohio. Don't go to the Great Spaghetti Pizza Factory. It's probably closed by now because they will give you garlic bread, which consists of Wonder Bread, regular white bread that they melt cheese on and sprinkle some garlic powder.
Oh,
so that would be my place not to have pizza.
There's a place here in Greenwich, Connecticut years ago. I can't remember what it was called. It was a steak. It was like an Italian restaurant. And they would get the loaf of bread. They have a big vat of butter with garlic in it. They dip the bread right in there. Oh,
delicious.
Jeez.
And you use that as a sponge to sop up the gravy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was good. Great
or the sauce, depending on because that's a whole another
that's
deliberation.
So deep dish or traditional? I like either one, really.
Oh, I like thin crust.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Yeah, thin crust. We'll have to try. Well, but listen, you're in Connecticut. New Haven, you can go up to Pepe's, right?
Yeah, there's Pepe's there. That's right. Colony Pizza's good too. The Chris Drury owns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Colony Pizza. Yeah, it is good.
Tracy had that right. She was on top of that. Like she's on fire. Hold on.
Yeah, Tracy's always on fire. Go.
Pepe's Pizza in New Haven is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're saying that Ohio then has. I think the Midwest is not as good for pizza, right? I don't think Michigan's not that good either.
I would say you're correct, and I would think so. It depends. Listen, it really depends. You get some transplanted. You want to find a pizzeria owned by a mob guy who's in the witness protection program. In the Midwest, they stick him in the Midwest, and it's Joe Smith's Pizza. That's the place you want to get it.
Hold on, we got some breaking news here.
Go.
Breaking news. What is Deb? You're leaving?
Oh, Deb. Either is catching a plane, but she's somewhere. I don't know.
She's up in Edmonton. She said.
Yeah, she's okay. I didn't know if we were allowed to say that, Deb. I don't know what kind of security meeting you're at.
She posted it. She posted it.
Yeah, she did. Okay, so she's in Edmonton. She had a great time with hockey people watching Edmonton lose. I hope this doesn't happen again. They lose.
How about Toronto losing, getting spanked by Tampa last night too?
I know. Well, Tampa's a strong team, and they're another team that's been in the playoffs.
Right, totally. And Toronto, I just don't like their mix. I don't think that Kyle Dubas, the GM, really knows how to put a team together. A bunch of talented guys, but man.
I don't know either. The difference, it's interesting how now they get through the season with all the skill players,
right?
And now in the playoffs, that's when a gritty team like Boston comes and knocks you around, or even the Rangers last night. I mean, not to keep on pushing. So,
like, talk about pizza. Like, what one food makes you poop like immediately? Like once you've had it, like you poop right. For me, it's like that hibachi. What is it? The Japanese hibachi thing?
Yeah. Bad food, Tom. Bad
food.
Chicken that's bad. Okay, anything that doesn't. When you do that, that means that there was something in that food that was no bueno, as we said.
Oh,
okay. So
really?
Yeah, come on.
But what's bad chicken? Like, you mean not cooked or something?
If it's undercooked, if it's should have been cooked 3 days earlier.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So that makes you poop right away.
Don't you think? Yeah.
I remember going. My sons used to get to go to hibachi all the time. A place in Stamford, Connecticut, we used to go to for all the birthdays.
Yep.
And you need to stay close to a toilet once you've done there. Go right home or stay in the restaurant. Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. So that who knows what they had on it? It might not have been the right place to go.
Oh, it's good though. But just hot wings go through you.
Wings go through you. That's true. Yeah.
Good.
I can remember going to Buffalo Wild Wings in. Wherever the hell it was, Portchester. Portchester, there's one.
Oh yeah,
and I went with a bunch of them, Clarky and that whole crew of kids. And anyway, one of the guys, Chad, he called us from the men's room and said, "Hey, don't leave me. I'm here. I'm inside, and my legs cramped up, and I'm not getting out anytime soon."
His legs cramped up taking a poop. I've never heard of somebody's legs cramping up taking
yeah,
food.
yeah, that's legendary. Those guys are the best.
And she's back again. And folks, he's back.
Yeah, he's back. Yep. Good old Tommy, Poopy Tommy. Doubting Thomas.
So we had our little birthday celebration for me on Sunday instead of Saturday.
Yes.
Was my birthday.
Yes,
Lots of tequila. We had to get down with tequila.
Did you really with the kids?
Yep. Shane, the oldest one, brought me over. Well, they actually both. I should be careful. They both brought me a case of tequila. So.
Wait. A case of tequila?
Oh yeah. Well, he just can't go. Yeah, we're the late boss.
So what do you have? Like 24 bottles of tequila? Oh, yeah. Now probably 22.
Yeah. Well, maybe 20.
20? No way. God bless.
Yes, we had some fun. Yeah, we made up steaks, corn on the cob, baked potatoes.
Beautiful.
Maverick, my grandson dog, was here. Oh, I love the dog. Oh, God.
Now that dog seems a little bigger than the little froofy dogs that you have in your condo complex.
Yes, he's grown. Yes, he's beast. Very, very sweet, too. He loves his grandpa. Still,
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, he pees on my foot still and everything. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. So you got him taught then. But you can take that dog for a walk in your condo complex, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. Pepper did not stop by.
Yeah, no. Pepper. That's right, Danny. Pepper's in trouble now. Are they still barking? Because now spring is in.
Now they're sitting outside more barking. Yeah. I've taken the approach. So here, let's talk on that. So just generally in life, we're talking about dogs barking, but generally, so little things like that just annoy you, but aren't life shattering.
Yes.
How do we handle that?
You say a prayer, breathe deep, and
because you wanted to talk about staying positive, right? That was one of your subjects today.
Well, yes, it's always good to stay positive. Right. Okay. We want to touch on something that Deb was talking about, which is why does our mind think negative?
Oh, that's right.
Okay, before anything happens.
What's the reason for that?
Oh, there's a bunch of different reasons, but you know what they actually talk about. All right, so why when you're walking into a room, let's say sometimes if you're walking into a room, now we probably walk into a room ready for anything, right? Yep. You know what I mean? Because we have confidence in our abilities to protect ourselves. But it goes back to protection. It goes back to your ancestors, believe it or not, because they were always living with the fight or flight.
Oh, here you and Tracy, did you guys talk before the show?
No. Thank you, Tracy. Wow. So it is about flight or flight. You know, and they call it evolutionary adaptation. Okay. How do you like that from the Bronx kid? That's what happens when you study this stuff, but on a serious side. So from way back when we were cavemen, when we were cavemen, we were worried about walking outside, getting eaten by something or getting killed, speared or shot or whatever it was, attacked, bears, whatever it might be. So now that is like hardwired into our thinking.
Wow. Huh.
All right. And so that's where it starts. Okay. And then also after that, it's past experiences.
Right. So your subconscious mind was formed. Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that's true, right? You think about it, like when we go to an intersection, we call it a stoplight. We don't call it a go light.
Yeah.
Right. It's you're going as much as you're stopping.
Well, thankfully, though, because if you said it was a go light, then you'd be going into that intersection, thinking about going all the time as opposed to stopping. Because in reality, to prevent accidents, you want people to think of stopping at an intersection and be cautious.
Well, when the light's green, though, and somebody stops, then it's going to cause an accident. So we're going to rear end them.
That's true. If you stop too early, that's a great point. And that happens, obviously. You see a lot of rear end hits.
As opposed to just saying, I'm going. Just have the attitude, I'm going.
Well, guys with like Ford F-150s and big vehicles, yes, they probably feel that way. All right. But you know, down here in Florida, you see every bad behavior behind a wheel that is possible anywhere in the world.
Right. Huh.
Okay. You have a lot of elderly people that seem to go the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know, on a one-way street, stuff like, you know.
I had an elderly lady that did that a couple of years ago, and I got out and I stopped her and I said, "Ma'am," I tried to be polite and everything. She said, "Man, you're going the wrong way." And she looked at me like she obviously didn't realize what she was doing. She looked at me like I was nuts. Like I said,
well, that's the problem.
Yeah,
and you don't. Yeah, you don't know they might be having like a stroke or something. I just hope that if that happens when our time comes, Tom, I just hope that everything is peachy keen.
Yeah, going down a blaze of glory.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Definitely. I'm not going. Nobody's going to lay me to rest. I'm not going to go into a hospital and die in a hospital.
Well, now you sound like that Indian chief, right? When you go down, sing your death song, right?
Like you're going home.
Like you're going home.
Tecumseh. That's what he said. When it comes your time to die, don't beg for more time to live your life differently than you already did. So live your life all out. Oh, that's a great.
That guy was an amazing guy. He lived till about 47 years old or something like that. But he also said, like, when you walked, and a lot of the things that he said makes sense. Yeah. When you walk into a place and you see somebody that's by themselves, acknowledge them, say something kind to them. And I know that you and I do that, you know, whenever we you know, get out there, you could always tell like who's maybe uncomfortable. Sure. You know what I'm saying? And just all you got to do is say hello to them. What's happening? What's going on? So I
recommend to everybody, if they haven't done already, Tecumseh, Temcumseh, great Shawnee warrior chief back in the early 1800s. If you look his poem up online, he wrote this fantastic poem, and they break it down in different sections and everything. But it's really like for a guy, like, especially he's a warrior, right? He's a warrior chief, and he writes this beautiful poem. So that's right. I listen to poetry. That's right.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. I mean, it's good, especially stuff like that. I mean, it's
very inspiring. How to live your life. Yeah,
absolutely. Good stuff.
Oh, here, what is, you know, just when I think I've turned the corner with Tracy Marie, and there's like really something that is an advanced soul like me. Huh?
Oh, thank you. Well, it's taken a while. It takes a while. Let me tell you. Oh my God.
What does that mean? So now I'm taking that. Here's the self-conscious thing. I mean, now she's digging at me, right? She's complimenting you to give, like, to dig me. Right?
You've come a long way. Let me tell you something. Okay. Seriously. When we first started this, you had no trauma in your life ever, right? It was your way to the highway.
I know.
Okay. And so many other things that we can outline in the book that we are having written for us by our friend Al Infantante. His initials are AI. Go for that. Anyway, so on the serious side, though, you know, that's the bottom line. You've come a long way, and you continue to, and you put yourself out there. I mean, you could be the play-by-play guy for the San Jose Sharks right now, although their season's over.
I know. I mean, you know what? We've laughed about this and joked about it.
Yeah.
But it is true, right? Like doing all this mental health stuff, thinking you're helping other people. And then people like yourself say, well, Tom, you know, maybe you need to look in the mirror, live it too. And there's some things you can work on yourself. And when you start doing that, man, it's awesome. It's inspiring stuff. It's like you realize, man, I got some work to do on myself. But when you're doing it, you're feeling better. It's like going in the gym, right? You want to get bigger, you want to get stronger, you work out, you put good foods in your body. It's the same thing with your mental health too. So,
No, without a doubt. But you know, and it is true. I mean, I took a deep dive into my own noggin to try and figure out why I keep going down the same road in life all the time, in the hopes of getting off that road and making a.
So can I sort of interrupt you? What inspired you to make that change?
I found myself at the beginning of the pandemic with basically not much, you know, with just the pandemic exploded me. Even before then, I was doing a lot of things for people, for family members that I loved dearly. And I forgot to do things for myself. I mean, that's real. And then over time, and what do I mean by that specifically? I turned down a lot of job offers, business opportunities, because I wanted to stay close to the area. And as a result, my life took a different turn. And then when the pandemic hit, and you know, the hockey season ended, and we were at nationals, and I'm in Philadelphia, I just said, I am going to get down to Florida as soon as possible, because that's where I wanted to be. That's where I wanted to ride out the hurricane. Because after the hurricane, listen to me, I wanted to, well, that, and I did. Sure. But anyway, that's I wanted to. If I was going to get locked into, you know, being in lockdown in your house, that wasn't easy, I think, for anybody.
Sure.
That wasn't a lot of fun at the beginning of the pandemic. So instead of me just looking at the TV and the stupidity that was being broadcast, I started to search the internet, and I got into positivity at a suggestion of my friend. And I really dug deep into all of the aspects of it. And then I took a bunch of online courses. So it's been, it's been a real journey. So when you say that, and then I started to post on TikTok and Instagram, predominantly TikTok for whatever reason, because a friend of mine suggested it. And it wasn't about 8 posts in, and we've talked about this, 8 posts in, somebody from Scotland the next day told me that, hey, thank you so much. I was going to kill myself yesterday, but I saw your TikTok and I'm still alive. And here's some pictures of me and my kids. I took them into the forest and enjoyed nature like you suggested. And I was like, holy crap, there's something to this.
Yeah.
So,
it's funny. Like you mentioned about the pandemic. So I was still in a place where I just thought I was invincible. I had no problems. I had no problems. Everything's Tom Laidlaw can handle anything. So it didn't bother me at all. Like I was fine. I live alone and I work alone anyway. So it really wasn't that big of a difference. But it is funny looking back, like at that stage, so like 3 years ago, whatever. Yeah. I'm still of that mind that I can help other people, but there's nothing wrong with me. I don't have to. Yeah. I don't have to fix myself.
Well, you don't have, but the bottom line is you don't have, you don't have a lot of situations there. You really have led a blessed life.
Yes.
Okay. You've led a blessed life, and only now maybe you realize that it's a blessed life. In other words, you might have just said it's the Tom Laidlaw True Grit life or something. Right.
Well, I think cool. you do lead a blessed life, like all the things that I've accomplished, planning all that kind of stuff we've done. But there's a cost for doing that, right? With everything, it's and you don't realize what that cost is. Again, you're leading this life when you're a professional athlete, where everybody's telling you how great you are. Yeah. You can do anything, and you're successful. So you feel like, I can do anything. I've done whatever I wanted to do. But again, then you look back to, okay, what did I personally? What did I have to give up or do to accomplish all those goals? So.
Well, that's a great point, because it's very difficult to balance being an athlete, being a first you're dating somebody. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I mean? It's relationships. Okay. Yeah. So it's very difficult to be an athlete, have relationships, then get married, and then have kids, and then juggle all of that at one time. Not easy, whether it's step kids, whether it's your own kids.
The hard thing, and you've dealt with this too. The hard thing is, so if you get married when you're still playing, which a lot of guys do, again, you're living that life that is a phony life. It's not the real world at all. You don't know that, though, because that's the only life you've ever led. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, so you get married, then all of a sudden the game ends for you, and it's a whole different world that you're living in, right? So then then in a lot of cases, I bet you the divorce rate for players, for athletes to get married while they're playing, I bet you it's like close to 90%. Because you're not paying attention. I'm sure the same thing with the people you've been around in the entertainment world.
Everybody. Out of I can only say out of the band members that I worked with, let's say Aerosmith. Okay, Aerosmith. There's 5 guys in the band. Only one stayed married. Yeah. And that's and it's amazing. And they're great people. Tom, the bass player. There's no secret. Tom Hamilton and Terry Hamilton. They stayed married and they made it work. And they're amazing, and I give them kudos. But yes, without a doubt, all of a sudden, when you stop doing something like that, when you stop the routine of playing in the NHL or any sports team, or you stop the routine of touring, where everything, exactly where you're going to be every day, exactly what's happening. Yeah. And now all of a sudden you're home on a couch and somebody says, let's watch a movie, Mork and Mindy, whatever the hell whatever it was back then. I forgot. There's an adjustment period.
Well, and that is true. But I tell you that for us, though, the guys I've talked to, the athletes, it's more, again, it's that you grow up in a world, and it's a fantastic world in so many ways. So I don't want to make it sound like you're complaining at all. Like your dream is to play in the NHL. If that's the dream. So you do that, but you're living in this world that is just not the normal world at all. But you don't know that. You think it's the real world. So you're making decisions for now, for the future. With that set of parameters, that's that world that you're living in. And then when you get away from that world, you're going, oh, what is this? Like, I have to get up and go to a job and get paid, like $70,000 a year, whatever it is. And again, you make a decision about the person you're going to have in your life and have kids with and everything. And then you're both looking, and I'm not blaming the women at all, but it's more, and again, the stuff that you talk to a lot of these former athletes, and they've been through a lot of stuff, and but again, part of why they're successful is that they just learn to deal with it. Just say, people talk about pain tolerance with athletes. I don't think there's a greater pain tolerance. I think it's just used to being hurt all the time. And you know that when you get hurt, you're going to heal. So you're just used to it. You say, oh, well, it hurts, but it's going to get better. So,
yeah. I mean, the thing is, there had to have been something that got you to the level that you rose to. In other words, there's something, it's not just luck. Let's put it that way. It's not just luck. Yeah. It's not easy to do and all of that. But then when there's a challenge, how about this? See, the other thing is, and this is no offense, but when you played, you really, a lot of you didn't make enough money to say, I don't have to do anything the rest of my life. Okay. Now,
that's a good point.
And that's a big thing, because suddenly now let me see your resume. Okay. Oh, you played 11 years in the NHL. Okay, great. All right. So, what else can you do? Yeah. Totally. Right. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of guys, what they do, they bought a rink or they became coaches or power skating guys. You, once again, blessed. Okay. You became an agent.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, you know what? I think about that sometimes.
I fell into it.
Right. I made the clear decision to be an agent. There's no question.
Yep.
And it's funny was I think to myself, I was kind of lucky because I didn't make much money because I didn't have that big bankroll there to say, okay, I can relax for about a year here, go golf and decide what I want to do. I got done playing. I was told my career was over with and I had to get going. I had to pay the bills, a young family and everything. So I look back and say that was a gift for me too, because I didn't have the option. I had to work. Yeah. And it is funny too, because I think to myself, like if I was any smarter, I probably would have scared myself to death and said, I can't do this. I'm not an agent. But I was smart enough to know what I was doing, but not too smart to scared to get.
But you had confidence. You had confidence in yourself. Whether you realized that's true. You had confidence. Maybe, and yes, maybe at the time it was too much confidence. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. Yeah. Who cares? Because that's what got you through it. Yeah.
Well, that was the great thing too. So now again, I go from being an NHL player and everybody's telling me how great I am. And now you go in the agent business with no experience. You're going up to these living rooms up in Saskatchewan and Manitoba and all over the place. And they're saying, oh, it's great to meet you, Tom. You used to play in the NHL, but you're not representing my son. You never negotiated a contract before. Exactly. So now my ego is taking a huge hit. Yeah. But again, I was like, and I keep going back to my father and grandfather. That's the way they lived their lives. Things didn't always go well for them on the farm, but they didn't have a choice. They had to figure it out and get it done so we could eat, put food on the table. So that's what I just saw. I was okay. Well, I guess the next living room, go on to the next living room, and keep going until it finally works.
But that's how you played too.
Yeah. I mean,
the bottom line is that's how you played. You showed up. You showed up and you gave grit, right? You gave grit, and you were that player. Yeah,
it's interesting. We did a podcast with Mike Rogers, former New York Rangers. Sure. And it's when you hear from one of your teammates and respect the team like what he was, and he was talking about me. What did he say? He says, I was sitting beside you on the bench in Boston, and you had a ruptured spleen, but you kept on playing. He says, I'll never forget that about you. And I was thinking that was pretty cool. That's the memory he has of me.
Yeah, that's not a bad memory, and that's because you didn't know it was a ruptured spleen.
Right.
Because Robbie Fedoruk didn't tell you.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it was pain. Yeah, he was just used to playing with pain. So that's cool.
And we talked about this also. But the funny thing about that ruptured spleen is God knows how many people who heard that story actually, in my case as a coach. This guy PJ got a stick to his midsection, and he wasn't feeling well. And I said, hey, I called the trainer. I said, take him. He might have a ruptured spleen, and that's because of you telling me that story. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 years earlier. Yeah. So so there you go.
It's funny. My attitude back then too is like, remember they came in with a stretcher and said, "Tom, we got to get you on the stretcher."
No way.
And I go, "No way, I'm not getting on the stretcher." What an idiot! Just get on the stretcher.
The Vikings, Valhalla. I'm going to Valhalla. No. We're not. No, we're in Boston. We're not taking you to Valhalla. Valhalla Medical Center.
That was an interesting night because I'm trying to be Mr. Tough Guy, and the doctors and nurses are like, "We need to get going. This guy's going to bleed to death internally." And I'm thinking, "What? What'd you say?"
That's a good stuff. Yeah, talk about what blood in my stool. What are you talking about?
Okay, there's a poop story. I couldn't poop for like 5 days after the surgery. They wouldn't let me out of the hospital. Tell you that's maybe why I was traumatized about pooping.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't think
the gas was done. Like, oh my god.
Oh, that's spectacular. Always good to know that. That's the go-to. I think that well, if you're looking to date, find out if they've lost their sense of smell. That's right. That's a key moment.
That's true. My sons, they're so 32 and 29. Shane, the oldest one, his wife is Leah. Cody's his younger one, his girlfriend is Val. And the girls are so comfortable in the family now. They're like our daughters. And so especially after eating, right? We're all sitting around farting and everything. Poor girls.
What's wrong with you guys? That's romantic. Those girls.
I look at it as a compliment that we all feel so comfortable with each other that just let it rip,
Well, I can see a bunch of guys doing that. Yeah. Okay. Great.
But again, they're like family, right? So they walk in, they just feel comfortable. They'll go to the refrefrigerator and help
that's really what a turn on.
Totally.
So you're not expecting any grandkids anytime soon, is that
No.
The dog, even the dog has gas, right? If you feed the dog gas, how cute, Maverick. Go ahead.
Maverick does have some good ones. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, he's playing the trumpet. That's fantastic. Way to
go. They're very with their food though. They don't only feed him dog food, but he could have a little steak the other day. So
we need a little probiotics. We need some probiotics in the Laidlaw house.
No, there's no need for probiotics. We're free flowing. Yeah. We're letting it rip.
No, the gas is percolation. That's it. There you go.
What else we got for topics there? Come on, let's get on.
Are you on more topics?
Yeah.
All right, good. Let's go. So fitness. I noticed that you've gotten into your fitness again more and more. Yes, and you're actually broadcasting it. Your knowledge of the Splice app is phenomenal.
Yes. Okay, you showed me. You showed me.
That's okay. But now you're starting to do transitions. Right. He's doing transitions, folks. If you haven't
noticed. Oh, I know.
Okay, cool, he's doing transitions. I like that.
Filters, the filters and everything, like changing the colors.
The filters. He's learning stuff.
I watched some of these other people's videos, and they're really cool. Like putting the music to them, and
you could do that.
Yeah,
cool. If you'd listen, you could do that. That's easy. But anyway.
Well, okay. So on the fitness. So I think I told a story about 2 weeks ago. I watched the video. This gentleman at a roundtable discussion was trying to send a very good message that, listen, don't work all your life and then not have any fun, and then retire at 65, and then you want to start having fun. And he said, because at 65, your body stops working. And I was incensed when he said that. I said, do not send that message out there. That's terrible. Right. Your body does not stop working. It only stops working if you stop working it. Right. Absolutely. So that was my mission. It was great because that was my mission to really.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that kind of stuff is incorrect. Here, look, you see that here. Ageless fitness.
Yeah,
okay.
Nice.
Ageless fitness. That's what we're promoting. Ageless fitness. You want to work out. You want to work out smart. 3 times a week, 30 minutes a session, and you will improve your mental health, your physical health, and even your spiritual health, for Pete's sakes.
I know. I don't realize my faces. Tracy pointed out there, my faces I make when I'm working out are like.
Oh yeah. Well, he's going for it. He's pushing himself. I mean, come on. Most of the people that we hang out with, that they're overweight, right? They don't give a damn. It's hard to get them off the couch, and all they do is complain about, their back hurts, their legs hurt, my feet hurt, this and that. Meanwhile, we're knocking the crap out of each other, and nothing really hurts.
Right. And to your point though about the aging and the fitness, right? That fitness in the gym or working at walking, whatever it is, but it's also the mental fitness too, right?
Yes.
Keep learning new things, keep reading new stuff. I know you do that a lot, so yeah.
That's all I do. I mean, whether that's fortunate or unfortunate, that's all I do is read new stuff. I mean, whether it's studying about social media, studying about what's going on, how to stay positive, how to avoid the negative.
Right. Okay, so Dougie's making a comment that I'm assuming is a little bit of a smart aleck comment, but staying single, that's the best thing for you. I think that's an interesting topic. Right there.
Okay.
Speak.
Well, I mean, here's the one thing that has been proven in test. Who has been proving the test?
Volhammer.
Dr. Hooverman. Dr. Hooverman. Volhammer. Okay, yes, Volhammer. That's his sidekick. Anyway, Hooverman. Testosterone levels in men, married men, testosterone levels go down because you are content, which is nothing wrong with being content.
Right.
You become content. You become complacent. You're not with a bunch of guys breaking each other's chops in the locker room or at the cigar bar or whatever it is. Okay. And so your testosterone levels go down a little bit.
Which is a bad thing.
Which is not good. Okay. So you want to, in some way, keep your buddies, your male friends. Right. Okay. You want to, just like the girls go out with the girls, go out. But you're going out to hang out, not that you're going out to pick up women.
So you got to keep being married or being with a woman or a mate is good, but you've got to keep your manhood. Is that what you're saying?
You need to keep your manhood. 100%. That's a great point. Yes, and that's me saying it after reading about it and studying it, and it's an important thing to. You're a man. We're men. Right. We're men, and they're women, and there's a whole.
So I've often wondered then too. Okay, so as a single man looking at a guy that's married, and this is probably the wrong way to look at it, and I acknowledge this, but I would look at men sometimes and think, well, the only reason you can stay married is you just give in to everything the woman wants. You lose your manhood, and I know that's terrible. I mean, women are going to hate me for saying that, and I'm not saying I'm right. That's the way I had looked at things in the past.
Yeah,
which doesn't have to be that way. You can still be a good marriage, a good relationship is 2 people pulling in the same direction, like not one person, not the woman or the man, like telling everybody what to do, right?
Well, I mean, we have a bunch of people here that listen to us, and we talk to, like Barry Shelley and your buddy you played hockey with, Melnick. Yeah. They're married 30 years, and if you talk to them, even Bill, the retired fireman in Jersey, contradiction. So, but they've been married a long time, and guess what? I'm sure not every day was fantastic,
right.
But. Because I talk to those are the kind of people I talk to, because I want to know what the hell I did wrong. And the bottom line is that no matter what happened, their ultimate goal was to stay married and be together.
Right. Isn't that the key, right? It's so easy to split up or get divorced, right? You just say, that's it. Screw it. I'm moving on.
100%. 100%. Especially the second time, the third time, the fourth time. They say that once you get married once and you split up, well, then the second one is easy to split. It, you know, it just, the statistics prove that it doesn't pay to get remarried.
Right. And my issues became, as I've said publicly, that to me, then it was like, okay, this is going to end anyway. So I'm just going to find something wrong with the other person. And that's the reason I'm going to leave. Right.
Well, that's a brilliant point, because if you're looking for negative in a partner, you're going to find it.
Yeah. No kidding.
You're going to find it. And then what's going to happen? You're going to tell you, then you have to make yourself look better. So now you start talking about it.
I know.
You start talking about it, okay?
Yeah.
And so now people are saying, right? And who are you talking to? You're talking to guys at some bar or guys in an event or the golf course or wherever it is, cigar bar. And what are they saying?
Yeah, women are all crazy. Yeah, women are all crazy. Yeah,
out of your mind. Who would put up with that, right? Now they stop, you know, and the guy who's telling you that usually is the one putting up with it.
Right. So now you're building a case for the negativity, right? You're finding the problem.
For the escape. You're planning. We should call that you're planning your escape from the bank. You know what I mean? You're planning your escape, because now you're laying your seeds of discourse, right? You're laying your seeds of, and it's, women do this too. Let's face it, women do the same shit.
Right.
So, but you know, guys are a little bit. We as men have to learn how to communicate intelligently. How's that? And I'm still trying, but you know what I'm saying? We have to learn how to intelligently communicate, because what happens is we bottle up everything. We suppress it, right, because we're afraid of causing some kind of like commotion.
Or you know, sorry to interrupt you there, but it reminds me, I saw David Coggins actually was doing a video, the retired Navy SEAL, tough guy, does all these marathons and everything. And he acknowledged, he says, you have to make yourself vulnerable. You have to look back in your life and say, okay, why am I acting this way? And you've got to go back and fix it. I thought that was brilliant, you know, because that's a big problem for particularly men. They don't want to make themselves look vulnerable. They assume that they're supposed to be the tough one that handles everything. And now they're going to their partner or somebody else and saying, I have an issue that I need to deal with. Right.
Well, yeah, but we have an issue. In other words, I wish one of the takeaways, you know, if I had to go back 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is, one of the takeaways is I needed to learn how to communicate what was I upset with.
Right.
Because you know what, at the end of the day, it goes back to the negative thoughts. I could have been thinking negatively about an instance that happened to me as a young kid watching my parents argue.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, and so now you get married and you bring all of that, in Italian we call it menzagosh, bullshit. You bring all of that into your marriage. Right. Okay. All of those past experiences of you as a kid. Yeah. You know, and so you learn to just keep your mouth shut. Guys, because what happens is we don't express ourselves, and then what happens? We say, "Oh, go F yourself, F you," this, and that's our way of ending a conversation.
Well, again, like we talked before, the big thing for me is not just the conversation.
Yeah.
The big thing for me is like, okay, this person's all messed up. Like always finding is like, okay, there's something wrong with this person. I need to run away quick because there's something wrong with them. Right. And the reality is it wasn't necessarily something wrong with them. They were who they are. It was the way I was perceiving things. Right. I wanted to find it out so that I didn't get hurt. And I can say, no, she's the problem. I'm moving on. Yeah.
Well, it's very easy to point the finger, right? You know what I'm saying? It's very, very, very easy to point the finger at somebody, but it's much easier when you do that. When you point the finger,
it's 3 point back.
Three pointing back.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So my grandfather used to say, there's her story, there's your story, and then there's the true story.
Yeah.
My grandfather, he was a gem.
That's true.
But you know what I'm saying? So that's really what it comes down to. It's communication. Guys have to, and it's the guys. Guys have to communicate. We're always listening to everything. With, you know,
but they've got to be honest with themselves to say, okay, listen, don't just like it is. And you're right. I agree 100%. You communicate, but it's also like opening up and saying, okay, if you're going to communicate with this person, if you really care about it that much, then you have to make yourself vulnerable, acknowledge that you've got something that you need to work on. And I said, like, you know, and hopefully be reassured that, okay, well, let's work on it together. I'm not going anywhere. Let's work. I really love you or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And let's, so.
But it could be something that she's doing. Remember something. So yes, it could be something that we're doing. It could be really, you know, obviously, look, first off, if you just accept to yourself that, you know, men, and they do men's weekends like this where guys stand around a fire and chant, I'm just a fucking jerk. Right. And that's all they do. Because men, we can be jerks at times.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean, sorry to say it, but you know, it really isn't fun to come home after hanging out with your buddies and drinking 8 to 16 beers, park the car on the front lawn, okay, stumble in, urinate in the stove, and then think that you're going to, you know,
sounds like that's one of your nights.
No, but it was a friend of mine's night. I know somebody who did that. Okay. You know, and then think that, oh, how come my wife doesn't want to fool around with me?
I know.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're a freaking jerk, bro.
For me, it was more, again, it was that like, well, I'll come over and say this, that fear of abandonment, right? Like things would happen.
Yeah.
And because things happened in the past and people would abandon you, then that's the pattern you've got. That, for me, that was the issue. It's like, that was the pattern I'd fallen into. Never wanted to admit it though. Probably, to be honest with you, I'd never understood it at all. Like I would just like, it was fun. Like guys like yourself, and this Tom Smith that I do the podcast with, finally said to me, Tom, like we were joking around about relationships and women are all messed up. And you both looked at me and said, Tom, so let's get this straight. You like, let's say there's 20 women or whatever, and there's one you. So what's the one common denominator with all that? It's me, right? So that was a big step for me to acknowledge to myself that, listen, you are not perfect. There's something wrong. You need to fix it. And we talked about it all the time with other people. Yeah. But then I finally had to look in the mirror and do it. And that was like, oh man, like just to admit that you're not, well, in my mind, perfect. I can do anything. Right?
Yeah. Well, God bless you. So that's blissfully ignorant, in a nice way. And it's
thoroughly blissful ignorance. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
When I realized that I needed to work on me, okay. And I wasn't, you know what? It's just, if you work on self-love, self-confidence, okay, and you're not afraid to be lonely, it's a beautiful thing. And really, we shouldn't be lonely, because all you have to do, if you're a single guy, let's just talk about single guys for a second, okay? If you're a single guy, and a lot of times you just want to talk to friends, right? So you talk at the gym, right? You go to the gym, you talk there. You if you play golf, whatever that might be.
Can I ask you a question? Talk about what? Just talk or talk?
How's it going?
Oh, okay.
Like, what the hell are we doing here? In other words, we're not trying to like cure, starvation in a foreign country on this podcast. We're talking. This is a conversation between two guys of similar, like. One's an Italian. One is. But
I in the past would never talk about what I'm talking. You and I are talking about now, though. I would never talk about feelings and stuff. I never let anybody know that I had any kind of weakness.
Because you were wrong. You were around the wrong guys then. And guys who wanted to talk to you about, or guys who were open to talk about feelings you didn't want to be near.
No question.
You understand what I'm saying?
There's no way I was going near that subject. Yeah.
It's the same way, like all you guys, okay? And when I say you guys, look, the people I hung out with just had longer hair than your guys, okay? Yeah. I hung out with guys that made Duguay's hair look like shit. Sure. You know what I mean? So long story short, people now are open to a little bit talking about their feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's a lot of guys from the past though that I don't think would have these conversations like they were in my life in the past. Right?
Probably not. But look, you're talking. Your Full Change podcast is proof that you could talk to Corey Hirsch.
Yep. No, true.
Okay. Clint Malarchuk. Okay. Yep. You could talk to guys like Clint.
Richie Pilon.
Yeah. Pilon. Look at him. Another one. Okay. Yeah. So there are plenty of guys that went through a bunch of things. It's how has that, what lessons have they learned from that, and have they changed?
Yep.
Okay. Because there are a lot of guys that go through stuff like that, and then you get to hang out with them and they're still screwed up, but now they know how to hide it with all these slogans and everything else.
Yeah. But it's true. Like you really have to, as we keep saying, listen, if you want to make yourself stronger and more better looking, you go to the gym, you eat good foods. It's the same thing with mental health. Yeah. And again, I was preaching that message for a long time, but I didn't really do it myself. And that was I was still doing it now. It's like, and I hope I'm always doing it to the day you die. You're always getting better all the time. So.
But you're an example of a lot of different slogans that they say that make sense. And one of them is, if you keep on thinking positive thoughts and speaking, what you say becomes your reality. So what you were telling people now has become your reality.
Yeah, it's very true. Okay. And you know what also happens? I know you know this.
No, it doesn't matter.
You get better. You get better people around you too.
Yeah.
When you live that life, you're helping other people. You're changing your life. You're making yourself better. Now better people come in your life. You're a great example. Like we knew each other, but we hadn't talked to each other probably 20 years.
Right.
Now you're doing all this mental health stuff. I'm doing all the mental health, and then we're back. Doing
but that was for me. I think that was a blessing. I mean, that was a great thing. We redo our bromance when we spoke at Madison Square Garden. You and I spoke at that USA Hockey event, and yours was pretty good. Mine was a spectacular speech that I gave. No, but anyway, seriously, that was the start of it. We had Peachy and Tempo, who doesn't even come on the show anymore because he's had it with both of us.
He's not tall enough. He can't see the camera. That's
I got to tell you, on TikTok, I got great color. Here, not so good. But anyway, that was the thing. That was a great start, and then we started chatting on Instagram back and forth, and then we said, let's do a show. And this is 37 episodes or 36 episodes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Ira, good job by you here. I like to hear that. My diet,
he's doing good.
Because and they say this a compliment. You have changed. We're talking about changing. You took steps to change yourself, and that's fantastic. Good job.
Yeah, and your anxiety level is low because less sugar. And also your whole body feels so much better.
Well, and you're doing something to make yourself better too, right? And you're like, wow, that feels good. Like I've changed it. It wasn't anybody else, so we could give him advice and that, but he had to go do the work and everything. So that's excellent. Good.
And getting back to something else, Tom, we talked about and I started to do it is the fasting.
Yeah.
Oof.
Very
fasting, and so what I do, like you, I stop eating whatever time it is, 8 o'clock or whatever, which shortly before I pass out from exhaustion. But I stopped eating, and then I don't start again until 11 in the morning.
Yeah, so you got a 15-hour fast.
Yeah, pretty much. And I got to tell you, it's incredible.
Yeah. So again, just to make sure everybody understands the theory of fasting, the first 12 hours that you fast, and there's no more calories coming to your body, you burn up all the sugar and calories inside your body. And now this process called autophagy starts, and it's cleaning up all the cells, regenerating the cells in your body. And you really do. You feel leaner. You feel sharper mentally. Yeah. There's some people I hear that say that you don't regenerate your cells in your brain. I've heard other studies that says you do. And then during that period of time, you're also now burning all your stored fat. So you're getting leaner and everything. So it's you don't have to do it every day. You can do a 15-hour fast. Again, anything over the more you fast past that 12-hour window, the better it is for you. So,
And it's magical. And then on what days? Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I go and I sit in the infrared sauna for an hour, 175 degrees, spectacular. And that is incredible for people. Maybe not you don't have to do it as long or as hot, but that helps, and that's detoxing my body. I take charcoal, not the ones you put on the briquettes, Tom, but the charcoal pills, and that also helps you with the detoxing. And then I do red light therapy. Red light therapy boosts your testosterone about 100 points, 125 points, which isn't a bad thing. But it also helps with your eyesight.
Your hair color too. Are you dyeing your hair?
No. You know what? That's a great point. So here's the deal.
Don't mess up. What are you doing?
No. I'll tell you what this is. Okay. And you can check it. You ready?
What?
Cryotherapy.
Yeah, no, that's what you said.
Cryotherapy makes now. I have this Moroccan oil.
Mess up your hair. You spent all that time fixing it. Like
no, it's fine. Look, you can't do this. Oh, you can. Jimmy Fallon did this to Donald Trump's hair. See, it is mine. Yeah. But anyway, so no, I'm not dyeing it. And I would tell you if I was. No.
I'm dyeing my hair. I'm dyeing mine.
So what happens here is it depends on also at our age, depends on the lighting, because if I have a direct light on me, yes, this will look, I guess, a lot whiter than it is. But this is Moroccan oil, which you could get at a Walmart.
Moroccan. It has to be from Morocco?
Who the hell knows? I don't have any idea. It
could be from the Bronx or something.
Yeah, no, it could be. Yeah. Well, the real cheap Italians, they just use the oil that they put on the pizza.
Sure.
They just do, it's oil. Oil is oil. You know,
definitely made some homemade guacamole for the weekend too. I hadn't made much guacamole. I had the past.
I'm envious of this stuff here. This guacamole and
good
nice
stuff. Oh, really? Excellent. You spice it up the way you want. So obviously avocados, onion, tomato. Put a little cumin in there. Some spicy celery salt.
Yes,
and a little bit of I put a little lemon. Some people say lime. I put a little lemon juice in mine. So.
That's awesome. Lemon. The lemon. I shave the lemon. I freeze my lemons and then I shave them in the morning and I put them in boiling water.
You shave, what do you shave in the morning?
My lemons.
Oh, your lemons.
Okay. The lemons. Yes. You grate them and you put that in. You put the powder into boiling water and that alkalizes your pH. Okay. And that's how I start my day. That's my morning routine. I will
alkalize your your pH. What?
pH.
Oh, pH. I misunderstood there.
pH.
Oh. Okay, I thought you were shaving.
Did I tell you I'm not dyeing my hair? It looks so weird, and I know it looks like it's so weird. I have no idea.
Why? What's wrong with your hair?
Because sometimes it looks white. If you look at the 37 episodes prior to this, before I really started doing the cryo, listen, come and do cryo with me, okay? You want to be a big shot? Get in the cryo tube. We're going to put it down to negative 320.
You know my pattern. It's the slow burn. I have not talked into things easily. I have to just slowly get it going.
I know, especially now after I called you out on it. Negative 320. Negative 320. I'm going to do it for 6 minutes. There may not be a show. There may be a memorial show next Wednesday.
Nice. Excellent. Let me see here. Danny Erickson, what do you have to say here? You want magical creature? Tom's cooking homemade healthy hot dogs.
Oh, no way, Tom.
Well, we can make chicken dogs. We can make chicken dogs. Yeah.
But how do those taste?
But they're not bad. They spice them. But the problem is, in most places, a lot of salt on them. Right? They spice up a lot of salt to make it taste good. Yeah.
I'm trying to find something. I'm not going to find it. Hold on.
Let me see here. Let me see. Okay, Tony Long. I have considered fasting before. So what do you do if you get cravings? I've heard different things like drink ice water, drink warm water, drink water, lemon, exercise. What would you say? Well, first, it's a certain amount of discipline, right? If you're going to be successful in life in anything that you do, the biggest thing you can control is your discipline. So it's just saying to yourself, like, motivation comes and goes all the time, as we say. It's a discipline. So yes, you do have to have discipline. But again, if you're not fasting now, don't think that you have to go right up to like 16 hours right away. Start by having 12 hours plus an extra hour, so you get a 13-hour fast and work your way up a little bit.
So I never really thought about fasting. I always woke up and would have eggs and whatnot early. Anyway, long story short, the night before, the first time I did it.
We're going to put a counter on, like how many times you say long story short.
Long story short. Yeah, it's just an expression because it's not going to be. So sit down and shut up. So here we go. I had a steak, Tom. All right. Okay, I ate a steak. I had some potatoes. I didn't gouge myself, but a steak, potatoes, and some kind of greens, spinach with garlic. Okay. Sure. And then the next day I woke up, I had coffee, I had water, my lemon water. Okay. I went to the gym. I stayed active. I didn't just sit around looking at, I didn't sit in the kitchen waiting for 11 a.m. because that'd be torment. So I got out and I got outside and I moved around because part of waking up and having a healthy start to the day is within 15 to 30 minutes, get outside.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the sky. Yeah. If you can't, if it's cloudy, just get outside, breathe the fresh air. And if you can't do that, make sure you have lights in your house. Turn all the lights on. Okay. Yeah. If you go to the gym, have the lights on in the gym. Yeah. You want to motivate yourself, and bright light does that.
Right. And turn the TV off. Do not watch the TV at the gym, and don't sit down at the gym. Stay motivated. Like you don't want to be in there for an hour and a half watching TV. Work out hard for 45 minutes at max, and totally.
Put on whatever motivates you. If you have ear sets, earplugs, whatever, put on whatever it is, whether it's Metallica, whoever, whatever you want to listen to. Frank Sinatra, if that motivates you, God bless you. That doesn't do it for me.
So, Tony, I don't know if we answered your question there. A lot of it is just plain discipline, but yes, drinking water will help you fill up your stomach, and it's healthy for you too, hydrating. So, but and again, don't feel like you have to go to 16 hours right away. If you haven't been fasting before and it's hard for you to do, then start off. But it is really healthy, man. You'll feel so much better after a while.
You know what else is important? I think that if we're going to give some life hacks, and I don't mean to call out Powerade or Gatorade, but it's just a matter of fact. Do not drink that because it has tons of sugar in it, okay? And it is important. BioSteel does not have a ton of sugar. I'm not sponsored by any of these people. I'm telling you that me personally, I make my own, I call it Gatorade, but I make my own stuff, and that's honey with lemon. Yeah. And I put it into filtered water, and I put a little baking soda. Why? Because they told me to.
Are you wearing lingerie when you're doing that? Or
no, I'm sorry, I'm not. No, I don't do that. No. But I do. If you want some lingerie, give me your sizes, and I will send you adoreme.com. Okay. And I will send you a gift basket. I will send you a gift basket once a month with the lingerie of the month. How's that? Right. Adoreme.com.
Very nice. The question here, Danny. Proud for asking this question. Tony, how is your wife doing?
Oh,
she's battling cancer there. So, well, there's a good point here too that Ira touches on. He's turning to Mr. Healthy now. He told me that vitamin D levels are low and there's not enough sunlight. Well, that's the thing. For me, I noticed that this winter a lot. Like January and February, we didn't get much sun. I found myself dragging. I learned a good lesson too, like you're talking about. There's other ways to get that sunlight. So
red light. Danny, red light, and everybody, Tom, red light. As a matter of fact, Danny, you do it and then suggest it to Tom, because God forbid Tom admits anything that
now that's other than the Splice app. That is not
other than the Splice app.
Oh, that is not
red light. I know, I'm kidding. Red light therapy. Okay, right. Red light therapy will help you with that, and vitamin D. So you could take vitamin D. Yeah, vitamin D is fantastic. B complex. I'll tell you what. Really, as far as supplements go, B complex vitamin.
Interesting you say that. I take a B complex. Yes.
Yeah. Very happy B complex diet vitamin, and then you have to see also check the labels of the stuff you're taking. Yeah. Because a lot of time they have vitamin D.
Right. All right, Danny. Let's get after this. My addiction is sugar-free iced tea in a bottle of water. Okay. So first of all, first thing I'll say to you is you do not have an addiction. You're telling yourself that I know it may seem just like a statement that you're making, but by you telling yourself that you have an addiction, then you're going to have an addiction. Yeah. Just don't tell yourself that. And I should be careful. I'm not talking about alcohol or drugs or those kinds of things, but like saying you're addicted to some drink like that. Say, no, I'm just not going to drink anymore. I do not need it. I do not need it. I do not need it. You talk yourself into that. So.
But I mean, you could make your own tea. I mean, you could make your own. That's what I would do. I would make my own tea. I would throw some lemon in it, or if you want a little lemon and honey, and you just mix it up and you put it in the refrigerator, and there you go. You have your own tea.
Nice glass of cold water. Cold water.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I will say this, that water. How do I spell that? Therapy. Yeah, red light therapy. Therapy.
Funny stuff. Funny.
At least I do it. Okay. No matter what, I could call it red light, whatever.
Iris turned into Mr. Fitness. Iris turned into Mr.
Good for him.
Fitness, so,
Good for him. He should do before and after.
Yeah.
Have you sent him any kind of workout routine?
Nope. We discussed it. I mean, I don't know if I sent him stuff or not, but we discussed it.
We can put it into the old fitness.
Fitness
actuator.
I give him credit. He said he needed to do it. Doctor told him he needed to do it. He asked a few questions and he took off and did it. So
let me tell you something. That's going to lower your blood pressure. It's going to help. It's going to help you in so many ways, provided that you look. Working out is one part of it. If you're smoking cigarettes then and drinking scotch profusely, well, then you're counterbalancing stuff. But if you eat right, drink right, and exercise, it's a great way to go.
All right, here we go. Good message here from Tony Long. She's doing good, staying positive, and my daughters and I are taking our cue from her. She's a rock. She has been a warrior. We're celebrating her 50th. Yeah, right. We love that. See,
that's awesome, Tony.
Right. Tell her we're praying for her. That's and that's the thing. Stay positive for her too. Yeah, I know she's being the rock, but yeah, you guys stay positive. Yeah,
that's spectacular. Good luck.
Yeah,
good luck. That's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, this could be maybe one of the most informative hours of the week. This past hour.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. My next mission, I had one of our listeners, a friend of mine, is going where she's doing a presentation today, a webinar, and so we're doing a little pep talk here before she gets going. So,
no way, mission. Yeah, a little webinar, huh?
Yeah. She's it's the first one she's done. It kind of got thrown in her, not thrown in there. I apologize. Thrown to her last minute, and.
She's been invited to give a speech at the last moment, and she is getting it together now so that she could present the speech properly.
Yeah,
thank you. The other thing is this: follow us on social media. Okay, either Tom's YouTube channel, which is True Grit Life. Right now, we're having the identity.
Looking at like somebody breaking into your house or something.
No, I have us on TV, and I want to see how good you looked. Okay, because it's amazing how you don't move much, and obviously I want to find out after the show what kind of chair you have, because my chair is freaking uncomfortable, and I keep going like this and back and forth and what.
Costco office chair.
Costco, is that it?
Yeah, Costco office chair. Yeah. Definitely.
Did you see those? Don't get in your way. The platinum albums that I have, I only put 2 up. I didn't. You know what I mean? I don't know if they shine or are they bright. That's what happens when you contribute to a rock band and they give you those platinum albums. And yes, any playoff appearances, Tommy.
So I will have some. I'm kind of the last minute guy. I'm single. Obviously, my kids are grown, so I don't have as many commitments. So I'm kind of last minute. But I will try to announce those when I get them. I was at Herald Square yesterday, and I didn't announce it. So again, I made a mistake there. But so I will be a lot. Our friend Jackie DiPiazza puts that all together. Has told me that I would do a lot of stuff. So I'll let you know where I'm going to be. Those are fun events.
Now Thursday we have another game in the Meadowlands, correct?
Yes.
But it's not the Meadowlands anymore. It's the Rock.
That's right. The Rock.
Yeah,
yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So that's a good one. Predictions on that?
It would be a much closer game. New Jersey will play better, but I think the Rangers will win. I'm going to say like a 3-2 game. I think Shesterkin will be the difference again. That's going to be every game for the Rangers. He'll just, if he stands up and he's a Rock all the time, then he'll be fine. So.
Yeah, exactly. And because they don't have a Brodeur in net right now, the Devils.
Yeah, no kidding.
And there's no Niedermeyer and there's no Stevens, Danico, or Rafalski. I don't see those guys.
Great young players, but they're young. Hughes played well. Rangers got to do a better job against Hughes. They got to hit him a little bit more. Now it's easy to say that, but you got to do it. Right?
It's amazing the skill level of some of these kids is amazing. Yeah, but hey, how about this though? How about some of the stuff that they do? How would not have gone over well back in the day?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Some of this fancy stuff. Yeah. You would talk
Michigan puck thing.
Yeah. We would say that's a great point. We would say, listen, you do that again, we're going to kill you. Like, there's more talking, and that was going to get an effective tool. So if somebody did something like that, especially like a softer player, a guy's going to play hard, that you can really get to him. And if you built a reputation of somebody that's going to really follow through with what you say, then you would say to him early, I'm going to get you tonight. I tell the story all the time. When my senior year in college, we were ranked number 1 in the country. We had to play University of Minnesota to go to the national championship. And Tim Mahar was a great scorer that was on Minnesota. He was the guy that Herb Brooks brought in. That was in the movie. They brought him in late in the season.
Yes.
Scare the other players.
Yes. Yeah.
So he was a good player. And I built a pretty good reputation of being a nutcase. And I went to him before the game. And I said, listen, if we lose tonight, this is my last game. And then I'm going to go sign my contract with the Rangers. So if you even try to score tonight, I'm going to spear your eyes out tonight.
Oh my God, that's funny.
And the other guys on my team were all around and they go, he'll do it. Yes.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
See, but the difference back then is that every team had somebody like that.
Yeah.
And so, for example, let's say Lucci, right?
Yeah.
If a guy like Lucci threatens one of these skill kids, they might not, the skill kids team might not have a guy like that.
Yeah. Well, that is the difference. Yeah. Like
right?
you need to have that's a great point. So what if Lucic was to do something like that? The other tough guy in the other team would go, okay, you touch my skill guy and I'm going after Gretzky or whoever it would be. Right. So now Gretzky's looking on the bench. Hey, we knock it off. This guy's going to chase me around the whole night. So
yeah. So you know what so it's interesting because now that some of these teams don't have a skilled guy don't have a tough guy that's going to do that for like
totally. Yeah, definitely. All right, we're out of here. Great show today. You are blue. We touched on just a little bit. I think it's important that we have that pooping section in the show every week.
Yeah, because people have to turn off at some point. So if we could just move that back a little bit, that'd be spectacular.
Okay, perfect. All right, brother. Great to see you again. Good job. See you, everybody. See you next week.
Bye-bye.